Welcome to round 5 and 6 of the Yamaha Australian Off-Road Championship presented by MXStore, where 300 riders will descend on the vibrant village of Mendooran, located just under 80 kilometres northeast of the regional city of Dubbo in New South Wales. The area is somewhat of a mecca for horsepower, with the famous Mendooran Cup and the annual rodeo, so we've joined in and brought the bucking Broncos to town in the form of some serious off-road racing. Hi, I'm Kate Peck and the AORC Championship is heating up as we approach the season's halfway mark. Coming off the back of impressive racing at the hot, humid and high-speed cane fields of Mackay, we launched into the deep, cold, soft sand that is Mendooran, set to be the most physically challenging rounds yet. This weekend is a back-to-back sprint format set over 2 separate tracks for both rounds 5 and 6. But before we go racing, let's take a look at the championship standings. In E1, the 250 class, Shop Yamaha's Kyron Bacon is obliterating the field within his class and overall with a perfect score of 100 points. On the 450s in E2, Josh Green, also from Shop Yamaha, leads the E2 class after taking 4 from 4 wins. Topping the E3 class on the maximum capacity bikes, Simford Racing's Husqvarna's Andy Wilkes has also been in fine form, but Sherco's Jonty Reinders is hot on Andy's heels after Jonty took his first win off Wilkes in Mackay. And EW, 6-time AORC champ Jess Gardiner on the JGR Ballards Yamaha has kept the pace strong with a 14-point lead, but KTM's Emily Carlson is chasing hard to capitalise on any mistake Gardiner might make. Jess Gardiner, she's a 6-time AORC champion and a 6-time world champion, and she's rolling out the red carpet for us to come and take a look at her AORC setup. Oh, that is red carpet right there. Good morning. Coffee at about 6 a.m. when it's about -3 degrees. Thanks for having us, Jess.
You're welcome. Welcome to the JGR team. As we said, this is a Yamaha JGR Ballards off-road team. We're a privateer team that we do it with a lot of awesome sponsors behind us on the backboard to make this happen. So we chase all the off-road series. We did attempt Hatter as well, obviously the 4-day and the 6-day, so a big schedule of racing. So this is my bike here. It's all ready to go. It's a little bit icy this morning, believe it or not. It was in the trailer overnight, but it's still just outside. It's very cold here this morning. Over this side we have Jeremy's bike ready to go as well. We're both on WR250s this weekend. I'm obviously in the women's class for racing and Jeremy will be representing E1 for Yamaha. Just over here on the other side, we've got Danielle's bike, which is our junior rider. Danielle is riding in the junior girls class, representing the team on the YZ125. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun out there this weekend. And then if we head out the back, we'll see our awesome little setup. So if you poke your head in here, Ben, this is our trailer to transport all the gear. Same thing, we're in the middle of setting that up, so it's still in process, but that's another little area to hide out of the way. And we've tried to find the best solution on the road because most weekends we're out on the road travelling. So we do have a little garage in the back. I'll let you poke your head down there. That's most likely where I'll be gearing up this morning because it's nice and warm in the van. We've got the heater cranking at 20 degrees rather than -2 outside.
Well, Jess, I think you better get racing, right?
Yeah, it's time for me to gear up and get out there and bring some action.
Well, you're leading the championship and you're making mean coffee, so you go get it.
Yeah, absolutely. Come back for more.
Shop Yamaha's Kyron Bacon. Kyron's a bit fresh, isn't it?
Oh, very, we'll see what happens today, but the track's looking good. Hopefully it can warm up a little bit this morning. It's going to be pretty stiff and, it'll be a bit harder to warm up and kind of get a rhythm this morning.
Corey McMahon, thoughts on the track out there?
It's super sandy and it looks good out there at the minute. It's super cold at the minute. Hopefully it warms up a bit, but yeah, no, the track looks awesome. Coming off Hatter and thinking that. Hopefully we're at a little bit of an advantage here and we've been riding sand for the last 2-3 months, so pretty comfortable in it at the moment.
Jeremy Carpentier in E1, how do we get on the top step this weekend?
I'd say consistency and don't crash and go for it because the sand is really tricky. The conditions are really cold this morning, so the first few sprints were going to be really important. And yeah, don't make mistakes, stay consistent all day, and I think that's the key.
From Beta, Fraser Higlet. Can you put it on the podium these 2 rounds?
We'll see how we go. I'm not going to say anything, but yeah, give it me best crack and see where we end up at the end of it.
Josh Green, you've done the track walk yesterday. How's it looking out there?
It's really sandy, which is cool. I've been at this property a fair bit. I really like this place. So, yeah, it's going to be a really fun day of racing.
Todd Waters in E2 on the Husqvarna. How do we catch Josh Green?
Well, we got some sand out there this weekend, so we had a good header last weekend, or weekend before, I should say. So I'm feeling confident. Bike's feeling really good in this terrain. But, you know, Josh Green, he's no slouch. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing it for years. So, yeah, I'm hungry. We've got a good bike, like I said, and, man, it's cold down here. So I've got 2 pairs of gloves on right now.
Round 5 of the 2022 Yamaha Australian Offroad Championship presented by MXStore was filled to the brim with exceptional racing and a crystal clear demonstration of classic enduro perseverance. It was a dramatic start to the weekend for the fan favourite Kyron Bacon. What started off as a sizzling lead quickly flipped on its head as Bacon navigated a fuel issue. Dropping down to near 5th place, the Yamaha-boarded rider proved once again why he's the talk of the town. Pushing his bike to the absolute limit, he remained utterly cool and calm as he regained critical time to win first place. After 14 laps across the MXStore and Off-Road Advantage test tracks, Bacon finished today with a total time of 1:44.50.
Today's been a bit of an up and down day. Riding well, you know, the tracks was pretty fast, so I was stoked to be up there in the outrights, which is good with me times and stuff. So the boys were riding well too, so it was good to have some close racing. And me and Corey had a bit of a bike issue, so that made things a bit more interesting in our class.
An even bigger win came in the form of Simford Motorsport's Sam Prashera, who scored himself a well-deserved second-place win. Unable to wipe the smile off his face, Prashera completed 14 laps with a spent body and a total time of 1:45.50.
Wasn't too bad. It was sort of just sand, so there was nothing I'm not used to. But nah, it was good. The track was, yeah, I can't fault the track. It was pretty awesome.
Gas's Corey McMahon also had a massive day here in Mendooran. With a total time of 1:45.57, McMahon won 3rd place in E1, just mere seconds behind Prashera. Although potentially bittersweet, it was still a valuable win in a campaign for more championship points. Tackling Mendooran's sandy conditions and a long, solid day of racing, it was Husqvarna's Todd Waters who claimed the win in E2 and the fastest time for the day. The Husqvarna-boarded motocross natural was completely at home on the sandy tracks, and it showed with a total time of 1:41.23.
Felt really flowy on the track. It's really tight and super rough, and it's pretty technical because there's trees trying to grab you. So I hit a bunch of trees because I'm obviously a motocross rider where I like to get in the flow and carry momentum. And when you're coming through a certain turn and there's a tree at the exit of it, I clipped a few of those. So that was the tricky part for me, but I kept out of trouble. I just, you know, I tried to take my time in sections where they were difficult, and it paid off today. So we're stoked.
Waters cleared Shop Yamaha's Josh Green by nearly 2 minutes. Today was an exciting chapter in the battle of exceptional talent in the E2 class. Green finished with a total time of 1:43.12, and we're sure he'll return tomorrow with a fire in his belly to reclaim the top spot.
I had an up and down day. I struggled a little bit to start with, and then AJ gave me a bit of a rev check at lunch, and I started stepping it up then. But we know Toddy's a sand monster, and so we knew it was going to be a tough challenge here to run with him. But I had a good afternoon, and I'll carry that momentum into tomorrow.
The final podium position was won by KTM Newcastle's Jai Dixon, who tangoed all day with Sherco's Callum Norton for bronze. With a total time of 1:45.16, Dixon clinched that coveted position. After Jonty Reinders pulled the rug out from under Andy Wilkshire's feet back in Mackay, Wilksh clearly came into Mendooran with a little point to prove. And he did. With a total time of 1:43.03, Wilksh took home the gold and another set of points to improve his championship lead.
Today has been a really challenging day for sure. Like I
Had an off before Hatter about 4 weeks ago, and I think still feeling the repercussions of that. And yeah, just had to manage my energy like a lot, and just try to minimise mistakes, which you have to do on a good day. Definitely deep sand out there, so it takes a lot of the power out of the bike, and you have to work really hard to keep on top of the sand.
Jonty Reinders had an excellent day of racing, claiming second place with a total time of 1:43.33. The Sherco boarded racer was hot on the heels of Wilkes, but just couldn't back it up after Mackay.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid day overall. Quite brutal out there today, and sand's not my favourite type of dirt, but I feel like I rode pretty well all day. A few little mistakes, wasn't really feeling a flow, and we lost a little bit of time there, but yeah, overall it was a pretty solid day.
The third podium spot was won by Stefan Gronquist, whose KTM seemed quite at home on the sandy tracks. He completed 14 laps with a total time of 1:46. The EW field definitely brought the fire today. Gardiner had her work cut out for her thanks to the addition of Kawasaki Australia's Megan Mad Meg Rutledge. Over 2 grueling hours worth of racing across the Offroad Advantage and MXStore tracks, Gardiner and Mad Meg pushed everything they had to gain precious seconds.
I was a lot quicker in the first test that we had, the Offroad Advantage track. It was quite sandy, a lot tighter between the trees and very technical, so I tried my best to give it everything in there, and we had a couple of crashes. We come pretty close to a few trees out there. They were definitely quite tight in a few spots, but other than that, it was a pretty good day.
Gardiner ploughed ahead though, clinching her 50th AORC round win with a total time of 2:01.48, only 6 seconds clear of Mad Meg, who was awarded a well-deserved second place with a total time of 2:01.54.
Oh, track 3 was tough, man. It was deep sand. It was a few crashes in there, and body was really starting to feel it. As I said, I haven't done much riding, so the amount of riding we did out there today was a bit of a shock to the system, but absolutely love track 4, so yeah.
KTM's Emily Carlson started off round 5 with times she didn't love. As the day progressed though, Carlson seemed to find that fire again, smashing her times to ensure she won 3rd place. Carlson finished today's racing with a total time of 2:03.58.
It was a hectic race through the sand today, rough and technical. Topping the timesheets in E1 was Kyron Bacon, in E2 was Todd Borders, in E3 was Andy Wilkes, and in EW was Jess Gardiner. Round 6 is coming up next. Don't move a muscle.
The International 6 Day is one of the toughest off-road races on the calendar. Obviously here at the Nationals and so forth, we have a mechanic here when we come in, they're doing everything for us. But at the 6th day, it is purely us. We have 10 minutes in the morning to work on our bike. Mechanics are there, they can pass us tools, but they cannot touch the bike at all. Same goes for our tyres. We change tyres every afternoon in our 15-minute work period that they allow. And we generally get 2 tyres changed, front and rear, our air filter. We'll release the air in our front forks, and then obviously if there's anything else, if we've had a big crash or something silly in the day that we've broken, we'll try and get that repair done before then doing all the general maintenance.
Yeah, it was like a Friday afternoon when I got the call up, and I'd sort of been aiming to do that all year, and even when I left Europe last year, I actually helped out at the last 6 day in Italy last season, and yeah, was a helper, mechanic sort of thing in that kind of role, not racing it. And I just, remember that whole week being there like, I want to get back here and I want to go and represent Australia again. So it's sort of been, I think, nearly 4 years since I got the chance to do it. So it's always been a goal to make the senior team. And after seeing some of the riders that have made our senior team over the years, it's definitely a big privilege to be chosen for that. So yeah, had to work hard for it, but really excited to have the opportunity to go over there and try and show the world how fast Australians are going at the moment.
I did a little stint in Europe when I was younger, and I got to race a lot of guys over there. So it's kind of cool. Every year I go back to the 6th day, I get to catch up with all these guys that I was racing 10, 15 years ago. So that's pretty cool. And again, I represent Australia. It's pretty special. To be at the highest level in your sport and then to go and represent your country is a pretty cool achievement. So
when you're getting involved with the 6 day team, it's a big task you're taking on, understanding the logistics, which has been a nightmare this year. Normally we have a container that we send over with all our equipment
tents, fridges, tyre changes, tools, jerry cans, enviromats. I think there's 60 enviromats. It's a lot of gear. We don't have that anymore, so we've had to get involved with quite a few different teams and companies over in Europe to help us put it all together, and I'm sure we'll be ironing out a few things as we go along.
From the experience I've had in France, racing the Enduro GP last season, it's an amazing country, and where the race I think will be held is nice undulating hills and really picturesque place. So overall, I think it'll be a tough event because of how steep some of the hills are in Europe, but yeah, it'll be a good challenge, something different for us Australians, but I'm really looking forward to getting over there and trying to do our best for Australia.
I guess it's really a really proud moment when you put on your helmet and we're all in our Team Australia gear and we all come together as riders to perform all together.
Today's going to be a rough one, I reckon. The track is brutal out there already, a lot faster than yesterday, so it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle on the 250, but you know, I'm looking forward to getting out there and swinging off it.
Oh yeah, today is going to be a challenging day, especially on the 250 out there, just going on the sight lap. It's super deep and super fast, and there's a lot of holes out there that it's a little bit more difficult to get over on the 250, but we're all in the same category, and I think the outright result will be a little bit different today, but we're all fighting for the class, and the track looks good moisture and a beautiful day. So.
Yeah, for me, it's like pretty hard on your lower back because you're constantly squatting the bike, trying to keep it to the ground. If you get lazy, the bike starts moving around. So, yeah, it's going to be hard work trying to control the bike for that long. We've got, I think, a 10K test and a 7-kilometre test to start off with. So 17 Ks of riding back to back in deep sand is going to be a good challenge for everyone. But yeah, for me, it was good to finish yesterday off the way we did, but it has used a lot of energy. So a little bit nervous coming in to see if we can maintain like a good pace today, but we'll just chip away at it and do our best. So.
Yeah, it's damn rough. It's really rough, and it's pretty fast and brutal, so it's going to be a big day.
Can you catch Todd Waters today?
That's my plan, but we'll see what happens. He's a bit of a sand monster, but we'll see how we go. We're going to do everything we can.
Today's going to be interesting. It's the juniors rode it all day yesterday, so the bumps are quite close together and it's rough already. So track's going to get beat up, and we're just going to have the same mindset, try and keep consistent and flow the track.
It may have gotten near the negatives in terms of degrees here in Mendooran, but rest assured, it was blazing hot in terms of competition in E1. Kyron Bacon won the day, but it was no walk in the park as he worked to keep the talent-heavy competition at bay.
Oh yeah, a little bit sore now, but had some close racing today with Corey, so it's good to have him pushing me, and we've been battling all day, so it's been good. But pumped to come away with the win. It's been pretty close all day, so you definitely had to hit your lines right, and the track was brutal out there, so I'm stoked.
With a total time of 1:08.01, Shop Yamaha's Kyron Bacon rode into first place ahead of Gas Australia's Corey McMahon. With nearly 2 seconds separating them, round 6 became a battle of consistency and persistence as each vied for the top dog spot. Rounding out the podium was Simford Motorsports' Sam Prashera with a total time of 1:08.19. Prashera clearly took learnings from round 5 and used it to his advantage, clocking up valuable championship points.
Today was really good. Pace was there. Had a few malfunctions with the timing and that, but that's life. And I really enjoyed today. Riding really good and happy with how we were performing. And just a massive shout out to Carusi and Dad and Mum just for looking after me this weekend. The whole team was awesome. Gas, Kenda, Motor X, O'Neill, Bell, Gardiner. Just thanks to all them guys, and looking forward to round 6, 7, and 8. So nice.
It was another fantastic day for Todd Waters, but don't let that win fool you into thinking it was easy. Shop Yamaha's Josh Green well and truly put on the pressure for every single lap, breathing hot and heavy down Waters' neck. After 8 laps and 128 kilometres, Waters pushed ahead to win with a total time of 1:05.13.
Like everyone, we're all beat up, but I'm smiling. We got a good result that confidence sort of rolls us through. And it's definitely been a tough day. It's back-to-back sprints, we're riding close to 30 minutes, and track's brutal. So it's no joke out there, that's for sure.
Green conceded for second place, clocking in a total time of 1:06.14. The final podium spot sported extra drama as KTM Newcastle's Jai Dixon and Sherco's Callum Norton bobbed and weaved to clock up the best times. In the end though, Dixon came out on top to clinch third place with a total time of 1:07.36.
Yeah, I definitely had a better day today. I was more consistent from the start, so I was happy with that. Didn't quite have the pace of Toddy, but I did my best. So I had a good day and we got some good points on Skinship.
There was no stopping Andy Wilkes here in Mendooran as he screamed across the Mudgee MX and WR450F tracks to claim another E3 win. With a total time of 1:08.15, Wilkes proved once again that he is the man to beat in 2022.
Very tired, but no, very happy. It's been a really tough weekend. Like this property here had a bit of everything, bit of rock, bit of sand, bit of hard pack, grass track. So really challenging to get a perfect setup, but also sort of really tough race physically as well. So yesterday we pushed really hard to get a really good overall position and really paid for it today. So it shows the level of competition here in the AORC this year, which is great. It's not so great when you're on the rear end of the order, but at the same time, it's good to see the championship really strong again and some really good riders coming through. So happy with today to get the class win again and extend the points lead.
Sherco's Jonty Reinders won a consecutive second place spot thanks to his total time of 1:08.53. Luke Bunnick filled out the remaining podium spot today with a total time of 1:13.24.
Yeah, yesterday we had a pretty solid day, and then today the tracks were pretty brutal, and I was sort of struggling to find a bit of comfort out there today, and sort of had to hold back and stay within my comfort zone and not do any silly mistakes. But overall, still quite a solid day to be second again. So.
Yamaha JGR Ballard's Jess Gardiner once again had her work cut out for her. Round 6 quickly started showing red-hot test times for none other than yesterday's 4th place holder, Taylor Thompson. After 8 laps across the Mudgee MX and WR450F tracks, Thompson just couldn't be beat with a total time of 1:19.10.
I'm pumped. Big turnaround from yesterday. It was awesome. I loved it. That was my second enduro and it was terrible. Like, it was so hard out there. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting how hard it was going to be. But overall, had a great day.
Gardiner had a hard day ahead, falling into second place behind Thompson with a total time of 1:22.09.
Yeah, definitely pretty sore after today. It was definitely brutal out there. It was tough conditions in the sand. I knew it was going to be tough from the event going ahead. So, kudos to Tay today. She was absolutely a weapon out there and I had nothing for her.
KTM's Emily Carlson rode into third with a total time of 1:24.01.
Topping the timesheets in E1 was Kyron Bacon, in E2 was Todd Waters, in E3 was Andy Wilkes, and in EW,
Taylor Thompson. In E1, Shop Yamaha's Kyron Bacon on 150 points, followed by Gas's Corey McMahon with a 26-point gap, and in P3, Blake Hollis. E2 championship points. In P1, Josh Green on 144 points from Shop Yamaha. Husqvarna's Todd Waters sits in P2, 10 points down on Josh Waters, and in P3 is Beater's Fraser Higlett. E3 championship standings. In P1 from Simford Motorsport is Andy Wilkes on 147 points. In P2, Sherco's Jonty Reinders sitting 14 points behind, and in P3, KTM's Stefan Gronquist. The EW Championship points after round 6. In P1 is Yamaha JGR Ballard's off-road team's Jess Gardiner on 100 points. Sitting 14 points behind is KTM's Emily Carlson, and in P3 is privateer Ebony Nielsen.
Let's take a look at what's coming up in the world of Australian motorcycle racing.
The Yamaha Australian Off-Road Championship presented by MXStore hits Kingston in South Australia for rounds 9 and 10 on September 17th and 18th after the unfortunate cancellation of rounds 7 and 8 at Nowra due to weather. The Penrite Pro MX Championship presented by AMX Superstores arrives at Queensland Moto Park on August 14th for the penultimate round 7. And round 5 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul sees us in Morgan Park on August 5th to 7th. The competition here will be fierce. Make sure you get yourself trackside, buy a ticket and catch all the action. Stacks of excellent racing on in the next couple of months. Head online to your favourite championship website for all the details.
Well, there you have it. Another brutal session of the Yamaha Australian Off-Road Championship presented by MXStore, where only the fittest, the toughest and the bravest come out on top. We'll see you next time for rounds 7 and 8 in the first week of August.